selling price, at what price, okay, just a second, at what price the particular car was sold, okay, how much kilometer it have driven, okay, when, what model it is, whether it's a petrol or a diesel, selling, whether it's an individual or a dealer, transmission manual, or when the person sell the car to a car dekho, whether it was a first owner or a second owner. Now car dekho have all this data with them. Now all they just want to do is what? They want to create a model wherein they want to reduce their manual presence. Manual presence means there will be an individual who will ask you all these detail, then he will use a calculator, then he'll try to predict some price. So all they want you it is, sir, using this old data which we are having it, can you create a machine learning model which can predict, okay, which can predict, so in future, so that in future if someone is coming on my website and if I'm asking these information, Tata Indigo Grand Petrol, manufacturer, in which year it was manufacturer, and how much kilometer it have driven, what model it is, who is the seller, transmission and owner, if I'll provide all the, if these information will be provided by an a car owner, can you able to predict the price? So this is what they want to do it, and they want to deploy this thing on their website, so that any user who wants to sell their car, okay, he can get the ideal price on their website, and that price comes from what? This prediction. So in short, we need to use this past data, we need to create a machine learning model which can predict the future based on this past data. So that is what we will be doing it. Fine. Okay, and then we'll see how we can deploy our model. So I'll not go into a coding part. Okay, I'll not gonna go into a coding part. I'll just show you a small data over here, and that is what we're gonna deploy. Iris data set. So I'll show you what this data set is all about. Okay, so this is what, okay, this is what we have a data. So we'll be using a data, okay, in which we want to predict it. Now in this data set we will be provided with these information, these info, it, what is a length of sepal and what is a width of that sepal. This is called as petal and this is called as sepal. So what would be the length of petal and width of the petal, length of the sepal and width of the sepal? These information will be provided to us, and they will be asking us, okay, they will be asking us what? Can you able to predict which particular flower is this? Means in short, if I'll give you sepal length and sepal width, if I'll give you an petal length and petal width, can you able to predict which particular category this flower belongs to? Whether it belongs to versicolor, whether it belongs to setosa, or whether it belongs to virginica. This is what we need to do it. Clear? Okay. So let me just go to my collab notebook. Okay. Okay, collab. Let me go it over here. And not FN. Okay. Like this is what the notebook I'm using it from one of my session only. So let me use this notebook. Okay. Forget about it. Let me just come directly over here. Okay. See, this is what this data set is. What information we are having it. Okay. Let me connect it. What information we are having it. If I'll show you, see, this is a data set iris, wherein we have been provided. This is what we call it as past data: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. And if these particular flower belongs to a category called setosa, this particular flower belongs to a category called virginica, this particular flower belongs to a category called virginica, and total how many samples we are having it. If I write it over here as, okay, if I write it over here as, just a second, bf dot info. See, total how many entries we are having it over here? somewhere around 150 entry. So total we are having 150 entries. Okay, in that 150 entries or 150 samples, how many category exist? Versicolor exist, Virginica exist, and Setosa exist. And they want us to use this 150 sample, and based on this sample, can you create a model and make sure that model is 95 to 99% accurate when it do the prediction. So how we will find out कि our model is accurate or not? So in short, whenever a professor takes your test, what it do? He gives you some questions, you write the answer, he compare your answer with an actual answer, and based on that he'll assign you a marks. So if you got 90 out of 100 means your accuracy was somewhere around 90%. Same thing we used to do it over here. Out of 150 samples, let's say 20 sample we will reserve it, means we will not use it, and we will do the training on 130 samples, and based on that training we'll try to do some prediction, and our answer will be compared with those 20 questions. Means what we're gonna do it, we'll do a training on 130 samples. Okay, we're gonna do the training on 130 samples out of 150 samples, and then what we gonna do it, we'll take those 20 questions which we haven't seen it, and we'll try to give some answer. Our answer will be compared with an actual answer, and this will gonna generate some result. We call it as an accuracy. So that is what we use. So I hope you guys got it. In short, we want to create a machine learning model so that if a user will provide these much information, sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, our model should be in a position to predict which particular category this flower belongs to. So we loaded this data, forget about it. And after loading this data, uh, here we are doing something called as splitting. So if you can see this thing, what I'm doing it, out of my 150 sample, boys and girls, I am telling it to use 80% of sample for training. Means use out of a 150 question, use 80% of question for training purpose, and reserve 20% of question for test purpose. Okay, and then here I'm applying a machine learning model. And after applying a machine learning model, what I am doing, what I am telling it here, to use the test data, use the whatever 20% of sample I am having it, do the prediction for that sample, and that result will be compared with an actual answer. And here it says when I compare your predicted answer with an actual answer, your accuracy was 96%. Means when I do the prediction, actual answer and the predicted answer, the accuracy was somewhere around 96%. So out of 100% of my prediction, 96% of time I was accurate in identifying which particular category from which this flower belongs to. This is clear. And from this part, our main section of our session will start. Because many of your school, in many of your like engineering college, they used to teach you till here only. Okay, your model is getting somewhere around 98% of accuracy, means your model is good. But majority of the organization or majority of the like training institute won't teach you what to do it from here further. Clear enough? Clear enough with everyone? Till here, is it clear? Till here, is it clear? Till here, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Students, please
now,
respond.
okay. So now I'll tell you what problem occurs from here. Imagine you guys have created a machine learning model and your model was almost 99% accurate. But what we can do with that accuracy, can it be used by other person? Let's consider situation Shankar have developed some model. Now, can it be used by Vidya? Vidya? Can it be used by anyone else? The model which Shankar or Shashank, sorry, the model which Shashank have created, can it be used by any other person in your group? Or can it be used by me? Is it possible or not? Tell me. Let's say here, Shashank have created a model. Just a second, let me come over here. Imagine this model is being created by Shashank. And Shashank says, sir, I'm getting somewhere around 96% accuracy. But what I can do with that accuracy? Can it be used by me? Or can it be used by your professor? Or can it be used by someone else? Can it be used by someone else or not? Tell me. No, they cannot use it, because if they want to use it, They need to have this collab notebook with them. They need to have this data set with them. They need to write that much of code. After that, they will get this thing. Am I right or not? Am I right or not? So that is what our main like section, our main topic, our of session is. After this, what we can do it so that this is available to our end user. Clear? So that this particular model is gonna available to our end user. Clear? So this is what we gonna learn it. I hope it is clear. Am I right? Clear? So I just want to ask you a basic question. Let's consider a situation. There is a guy in your school who is topper. Okay, who used to score almost 99.99% in every semester. Okay, what you can do with it? Let's consider a situation. You want to use his brain for your examination. Can you able to use it? No. You need to have that person always with you. Am I right? Same thing we gonna do it over here. See, our model is ready. What I'll gonna do it now? I'll gonna download my model. I'll gonna do it. What? See, this is my model name, KN. KN is nothing but what my model name. What I'll gonna do it, rather than writing these things each from starting each, and because see, I have put my effort, I have developed something. Now if someone else want to do the prediction, why he gonna do these things from the starting? Work I already have done it. Let him or let her utilize my work which I have done it. So there is a technique in Python. We call it as pickling and unpickling. What is pickling and what is unpickling? Step number one, let me teach you. Pickling is something wherein the model which you have created, you can put it in a box and you can transport it anywhere. So if you want to transport it, you don't need to have that entire code and all. So see, my model name is KN. What I am doing it over here, import. If you can see over here, I don't have any file with me. Here, I don't have any file with me. What exactly I'm doing it over here is, I'm importing a model name as pickle. Okay. With open, I want to create a file. Let's say the name of that file is, let's say I'm writing as brain only. Okay. And in that brain file, okay, in that brain file, what I want to do it, just a second, in that the mode of this file is WB. That is means I want to write something in this brain file. What I want to dump it? I want to dump my machine learning model in this brain file. And there we go. Or let's say I'm writing over here as my name, let's say Nishan. Okay. So I want to create a file Nishan, and I want to write some binary data into this file called as Nishan. And what I want to dump into the Nishan? My machine learning model which I have created. Now, fine. Let me hit this thing. Okay. Now here I didn't get anything over here. Let me refresh it. We'll see. Do we have anything over here? Just a second. Okay, let me see. Do we have anything? Okay. Can you say something over here, guys? I got something named as Nishant. And if I want to download that file Nishant, let me download it. And let's see what is there in this Nishant. So I'll go show in folder. And then if I'll show you, let me open with my text editor. Or let me just open WordPad. Let's see what is there. You can find some gibberish data. Okay. Can you able to see some gibberish data like this? Now, my file or the machine learning model which I created, what I have done it, I converted into a brain, and that brain I have downloaded it. So next thing, all we just need to do is what? Whomsoever is having this brain, okay, he can do this thing. So if I'll send you this brain, you can also able to do the prediction with this model only. See how to do it. Now this is the brain with me. Am I right? So first I'll show you how to do it in Python, and then we'll see it how to do it in the website part. Clear? Okay. Fine. Comfortable, guys? Clear what I'm trying to do, achieve it?
Yes,
Clear
sir.
enough? Okay. So see, imagine a situation. I'm opening a new collab notebook, or let's say new Python notebook. Okay. Here I don't have anything. Either I don't have a data set, nor I have written anything over here, all I'm just writing is what? I'm creating a new notebook, and all I'm just doing is what over here is, just a second. Let me connect it. Okay. So point number one is all I just need to have it is what? I just need to have that brain file with me. Now, even this you can also do it. So if I'll give you this brain file, na, you don't need to write that code. You don't need to have that data set. You don't need to have anything. It's just you need to query that brain file with some question, and that brain file will gonna reply you the answer. So if I'll go in downloads, and this was the file which, okay, so better what I'm gonna do it over. Okay, let me open it. Okay, and just for a safer side, I'll rename it. I'll just make it as Nishant. There we go. Okay, so the name of file got changed. So this got changed over here. First thing, and see, if you will see the original data set, okay, not this. What question, I mean, all we just need to do is what? We need to provide this thing, sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, and we'll see what response my brain is giving to me. So I'll come over here, import. Let me load this file into my code part. Clear? Just a second. Okay. So let me load this file into my code part. All I'm just doing is what over here is clear. Import pickle. I want to first read this brain file. So with open, what file I want to read it? Name of this file is what? Name of this file is Nishant. Yeah, this file got loaded. Name of this file is what? Nishant. Okay, so I loaded this file, and this time I want to, rather than writing something, I want to read this file. So I'll write it as RBS file. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. File. And then all I just want to do is what? I want to, now this brain, I have imported it. Now I need to store it in a variable. Okay, so what I'm gonna do it, I'll create a variable name as pred, and this particular variable called as pred will equal dot load. This will gonna do it what? Load this file which I have created. So there we go. Clear? We are done with this much part. So at step one, what we have done it, the brain file which we have downloaded it, we imported it, and we store in a variable called pred. Next is what? We just need to ask few questions to it. Okay, what those questions are, I'll tell you. Okay, these are the questions we need to ask it. What is your sepal length? What is your sepal width? What is your petal length and petal width? So let me store it over here. Let's say I'm writing over here, I'm creating a variable a equals to, okay, input. I want to ask a user what? Enter. What was the first sepal length? SEPL, sepal, LENGT, sepal length. And let me just store this result into float format. Clear? So the result will get stored in a float format. Question one, because definitely user needs to provide, in order to get the prediction, he need to provide the questions. Then and then only I'll get an answer. Sepal length, sepal width. Okay, okay. Sepal length, enter sepal width. Enter petal, petal length, enter petal width. I'm done with my question. WIDT. Okay, I'm done with my question. So this I'll store it in B. This I'll store it in C. This I'll store it in D. So here I'm done with my question. Now next thing, these value A, B, C, and D, to whom I need to pass it? I need to pass it to my brain, which is stored in a variable called as pred. Clear? Clear? Is it clear with you guys? So all I am just doing is what over here is, see, simply I'm copying this thing. I'm copying this. Okay, I'm copying it something like this. Result equals to pred. I want to store the result of A, B, C, D. So what I'm telling it over here, guys, using that brain pred, can you predict for a value A, B, C, D, which user will pass it, and whatever value will come, that will be stored in a variable called result, Here, let me just directly write print result result. Let me see whether I'm able to do it or not. And let's see how good our prediction is. Now he is asking me for sepal length. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do it over here. Let me just first take an actual value. Okay. So let me just first take an actual value. So I'll come over here. Let's say I'll take this value. See, this whole value, I'll check it. Actual result is what? Virginica. And let's see what my model tells it. So sepal length is 6.4. Let me write 6.4. Sepal width is 2.8. Let me write it 2.8. Petal length is 5.6. So let me write 5.6. And then petal width is 2.2. Now, what is an actual answer? Actual answer is Virginica. And let's see what our model predicts. It predicts what? Virginica? Clear? Clear? So here, I don't need to write that whole code. All I'm just needing is what? This particular thing. That is called as Nishan. That is my brain file. Okay. So till here, we created a machine learning model. We converted into a small brain file or a file. Now that file can be transported. That file can be used by anyone. What advantage is there with that file? Anyone who is having that file, he don't need to write that complete code. He don't need to apply a machine learning model. Simply he need to pass on the question to that file. That file will gonna do the prediction. Is it clear till here so far? Is it clear? Is it clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's like import packages, right? Sir, sir, I didn't get that point, sir. Like, can you like?
Prakash sir, please unmute yourself and you can start asking the questions directly.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, is it like built-in functions in Java and C programming where we'll be creating a classes, functions, everything defined, and we'll be creating an instance and we'll be using it?
Yeah, but obvious it's what, sir. But obvious what we are doing it. So you are creating a class. In that class, you'll be creating an instance. So these things are used over here, sir. Okay. Now here we are
Uh,
right. Okay, I'll tell you. These things happens in library, sir. Okay, wherein
uh,
what
that's
we
that's
do.
why
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
that's why
Where
I'm
we
asking you. That's why these are all the similar to importing packages in Java concept, right?
Yeah, exactly same it is, sir. Wherein these files,
Okay.
or these are nothing but in class, sir. Let's say, if I'll show you in my code, so we create some instances, and definitely we create an object, and we try to call that instances, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
okay. So see here, but still, I just want you guys to answer few question. Uh, can I able to work with this result? Will my end user will able to work with this much data? Did this code is usable by my end user or not? Tell me, anyone. Can anyone answer it? uh let's say I have created a model, I converted into a pickle. Now even if you are having this file called Nishan, you can able to do the prediction, and here I have done the prediction in my Python. But tell me one thing over here, is it really possible? Is it really useful right now? Can this be used by my end client or not? Will it be useful for my end client right now? Tell me. I am at right now this stage. Is it useful or not? Or can it be used by my end client?
Yes, sir, it
I
can be
think
used.
no, sir.
Okay. The answer is no. I'll tell you why. See, if I am doing it till here, my end client needs to have a Python software. Am I right? In order to run this file, my end client needs to have a file called Nishan. Is it really possible that my end client should be aware of? So, in order to do, let's say my end client is a person who is into a real estate agent, wherein I'm trying to predict the proper cost of a particular property, and he really don't know what is Python, what is brain file and all. Will he able to use all these things? No. Am I right? Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Okay. So here comes the next part, guys. Same thing, how you can convert into a UI part. Can we do it in the website? Same thing, can we put it into a website format wherein that website is available to end client? Can we do it like this, guys? So that is what we gonna do it over here just for a simplicity. Na? I'm just showing you a small process wherein if you are done till here, we're gonna convert it into a small website which can be done using a module called as Flask. Or but if you do it in Flask, you need to learn Flask. Okay, because these all things are written in Python. So if you want to make it compatible, your things needs to be in Python. And website understands CSS and HTML. Am I right? Hope I'm making a sense over here. Getting my point or not? So that incompatibility issue will start occurring. Clear? So Python provides you a module, and as Prakash sir already told, yes sir, these are the class and packages. Yes, exactly. So there is one, okay, package. We call it as Streamlit. Okay. So with this module called as Streamlit, you can able to write a Python code and convert it into a like website front end part as well. So see how I am doing it over here. Clear? How easy it is. The module which I have created, na, I try to convert it into a website, and that can be accessible by my end user. Let's see how exactly we gonna do it over here. Fine. Clear enough? Okay. So what I'm doing it over here, same brain file which I have created or which I have downloaded, name as Nishant. How exactly I'm gonna do it? We'll see it. Okay. So let me just go over here. Let me open. I hope you guys are comfortable with Python somewhat. Am I right? Am I right? Somewhat comfortable, guys?
Students, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see what exactly I'm doing it over here right now is how easy or how simple it is. Fine. So import Streamlit as st. Okay. Import module numpy as np, which I have used in my code. Okay. Import pandas as pd, and then import. Here I don't need to write anything in HTML. See, what exactly I have done it over here, guys. First thing, let's consider a situation. All I just want to do it what over here is, okay, I want to write a heading. Am I right? Clear? I want to write a heading. Fine. So see what I am doing it over here. Same code which I have done it in my Python part. Here what I have done it. I loaded this file. Am I right? Same thing that Nishant, I'm gonna load it over here with open Nishant, RB as file. So, okay, all I'm just doing is what? I'm importing a file name as Nishant. But where exactly that Nishant is? It's in download. So I'll go in my download folder. Let me copy this thing. Okay, copy. And let me just paste it over here. Just for simplicity, I'll paste it in my desktop. Okay. Just for simplicity purpose, I'll paste it in my on my desktop. Okay, see, on my desktop, I'm creating a folder, this, and I'm gonna create new folder called as test. Just a second. New folder. This folder I'm writing as test. Okay, and this file Nishant, I am putting it in test. Clear? So I'll rename it as Nishant. And then the code which I am writing is just in front of you right now. See, I imported this code. Am I right? And let me just write a small message over here. Okay, let me just write a small message over here using Streamlit st dot. I want to write a title. Let's say here I just see same nothing. I'm writing in Python only. I want to write a title for my website, and the name of that title is, let's say, model deployment in machine. This much part only I have written it. Let's say this much part only I have written it. Clear? And let me save it. Control file. I'll save it in the same file. File, save as. I'll go in desktop and I'll put it in a folder name as test. This was the folder. I'll write it as, let's say, app dot, file name is app, APP app. Clear? So I'm done with this my file. Now I'll go in my command prompt, and here I'm gonna write it as cd. I'll go in, not docker, just a second, desktop, and here I'll again go on a cd test, where I have this file. Now all I just want to do is what the app file which I have created, I need to run it. Streamlit run app.py file name. See, as soon as I'm gonna run it, what I'll get it. Wait for some time, huh? See. Can you see something? I got it on my website. Model deployment in machine learning. I hope you guys are able to get it. Am I right? Clear? Clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Nishant
Okay.
sir, we have a question in the chat box.
Okay, sir. I'll take that question. Just a second, sir. Let me come back to the original. Just a second, sir. Okay, sir, is Streamlit a web framework? Okay, with that, so I'll answer that question. Yes. See, basically at the backend, Streamlit uses, it's an API. Usually, what it do, whatever code you write it in Python, it is a framework which convert it into an basically an HTML and CSS format only. So at the end user don't need to take care about HTML and CSS. He needs to write his entire code in Python. Fine, and this will convert it into a code which is being understood by a web framework. Any browser can understand it. Clear? So yes, it's a web framework wherein the original, you don't need to change your code. It needs to be written in original Python only. And at the backend, it uses an API to convert it into a web framework. Clear with that? And if you guys want its documentation, fine, I'll show you the documentation also. Clear? So see, this is how I have done it. Now same code I'll gonna write it over here. See, I am not gonna write anything. I'm writing everything in Python. So this was my code. Okay, this was my code. Let me do one thing over here is I'll copy this thing. Whole thing I'll copy it. Just a second. Whole thing I'll copy it and I'll write it in my Python code. Let me just, okay, first of all, before writing this thing, okay, now here I am not supposed to ask a question like this because I want to ask a question. Now these things will be reflected in the website. Okay, so for website I need to use Streamlit. So let's say how exactly I'm gonna write it over here. Okay, how I'm gonna write it over here. So rather than writing like this, I'll write it something like this. See how easy it is. Okay, so the variable a will contain something like this. What kind of things I want to ask it? Do I want to ask a string based question or a number based question? So it's a number based question. st dot num number, st dot number, and this I want to take an input, and st dot number input. So from user, whatever entry he will do it. So in order to make it very much accurate, in order to avoid user will won't write any string entry, I purposely mention a st dot number input. And what question I want to ask it? Okay, what question I want to ask it? Enter the sepal length. Same thing, I'll copy it like this, copy it, and then I'll paste it like this. st dot input. Similarly, st dot input. See how easy it is. Just to make you guys, here you can add a video, here you can add an image, here you can add a slider, here you can do a lot of things which you want to do it. Now I got my result. Okay, now I want to do the prediction of my result. Clear enough? Okay, all I just want to do it, I want to do the prediction. So the answer is stored in a result. Okay, all exactly I'm gonna do it what over here is, let me just directly st dot, okay, let's consider situation. I'm gonna write it over here as, okay, st dot write. Let's see how I'll get it. And here I'm writing as result. Let's see how exactly our code will gonna look like. Control S. So my code got saved. And let me come back over here. See, here you can do a setting. Whenever you save your code, this will gonna automatically run. Okay. So run on save and let me refresh it. There it says there is a syntax error. Okay, yes, this is a code. There is an error. I have used a double bracket. So let me remove it. Let me remove it. Control S. Okay, then I'll see it. Then I'll rerun it. Always rerun. Guys, can you able to see this thing? Can you able to see this thing? Clear enough or not? Clear
Yes,
enough?
sir.
Okay. And here it prints the result as Setosa. See, if I write over here, I'll take any value. Just a second. Let me take this value. The answer is versicolor 6.3, 2.5. Okay. So 6.3, 6.3. Okay. 2.5, 2.5. Then what was the next result? Sorry, my bad. 6.3, 2.5, 4.9, 1.5. 4.9, 4.9, 1.5. What result it is predicting? Virginica. And what was an actual answer? Versicolor. So can you see it, guys? It predicts the result as Virginica and the actual answer is versicolor. Now why it is happening? Because none of your model will be 100% accurate. We got accuracy as 96%. So this time my model fails. Now let me check for another result. Okay, I'll check for this 5.5, 3.5. Okay, so let me just write it over here. 5.5, 3.5, 5.5, 3.5, 1.3, 0.2, 1.3, 1.3, 0.2. Hit enter. It predicts what? Setosa. So guys, this we can make it a lot more beautiful, huh? This you can do a lot more beautiful. You can do here side tab. You can do something like this as well, guys. Fine, I'll show you. Okay, you can do it like this as well. A lot more things you can do it over here. But as of now, can I say something like this? If I am making it something like this, this can be used by my end client. Am I right or not? I have converted my whole thing into a web interface. So user don't need to think about Python. User don't need to think about anything. He simply needs to come on my website or I can redirect him on my website. And my website will gonna ask him few questions and then I'll gonna do the prediction. Clear? Clear with everyone?
Sir, we also have two questions, sir, in the chat box.
Okay, let me just see the chat box. Okay. Okay, how you can embed? Okay, first of all, sir, which database is optimal for handling? Okay, see, I always go for MariaDB. Fine, but like you can go with Redis or you can go with MariaDB. Fine. So these are the two things which I use it always. You can go with Redis because caching power in Redis is very good as compared, or else you can go with MariaDB. MongoDB is also optimal if you want to go with MongoDB because MongoDB you have a Python framework, so you don't need to do anything over here. You can go with MongoDB as well. Okay. Sir, how I can embed Python code into a JavaScript? So this is something, guys, to be very frank, even I haven't done it yet. So in front of you only, I'll gonna answer. I'll gonna check this thing. Fine. Because I didn't get any kind of requirement like this where I need to embed it into a JavaScript code. So let's see it. How to run Python directly from JavaScript. So how to use Python, guys? This you can search it. Fine, because to be very frank, I am not compatible enough to answer this question because I haven't tried it. So if I'll give you any suggestion on this, I might not be the correct person to answer it. But still, we have one more problem over here. Can anyone able to identify it? Can anyone able to rectify it, guys? See, I'm able to do the prediction. Now that model got deployed as well, but there is one more bigger problem with this. Can anyone able to identify it? Can anyone? Anyone? See, we have done this thing, but still there is a problem with this. Anyone? We converted into a web interface. And see, there are a lot of things which you can do it on that website, but right now I don't have that much of time to write these things. There's a reason why I have shown you like this. Fine, but there are a lot of things which you can do it. Forget about it. But there is a small problem with this approach still right now. Can anyone able to figure it out what that problem is? See this thing carefully. See this thing carefully. Can anyone able to identify it? Anyone? Please answer. Please answer.
Students,
I,
please respond.
okay, if you guys are not able to know it, I'll tell you what. Where exactly my brain file is, where exactly my code is running. Is it running on my local machine or is it running on some server? Is it running on my server or is it running on my local machine? Anyone? It's running on my local machine if I'm not wrong. I hope guys I'm making a sense over here. Is it? It is running on my local machine. Even that brain file is there in my local machine. So the thing which you guys are seeing it right now, it's only accessible from my local machine. If any other user will try to access this particular thing, he'll not able to access it because all these files are stored in my local machine. Clear enough? Clear? Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So next thing that what you need to do it now guys, these files you need to put it on some hosting server. Am I right or not? Wherein keep, because definitely see, if you use a website, you used to put your index.html file on some server. Am I right? Then and then only you request whenever you write any website that fetch that file and display you the content. Getting my point or not? Same thing we need to do it guys. We need to have some hosting server wherein we can host our website, we can host our code as well. So for doing this guys, I'm just telling you an approach. One is you can use code Heroku. Okay, you can use code Heroku. Clear? It's a cloud application platform wherein you can host your websites and all and everything. Next best way of doing is what? If you want to make your website live, so your everything needs to be stored on some particular server. So next best approach is guys, you can use GitHub. So let's say I'm right now on GitHub. Okay, this is my profile guys on GitHub. Okay. So this is my profile on GitHub. So let me just come over here. Okay, let me just come to my repository. So see GitHub you using, let's consider situation I'm on a particular, let's consider a situation. New. I'll create a new repository. Name of that repository, let's say I'm writing as git underscore testing. I created a repository and then all I'm just doing is what? Okay. Okay. I'll go over here. Just a second. See how easy it is. So let me just go over here, create a new file. Okay, let's see what I'm doing it. Not this. I'll go in git testing. Okay. Just a second. Just give me 2 more minutes. Okay. Now here I'm going it over here. See, all I'm just doing it what? The file which I just created right now. See, these are the 2 files. Okay, these are the 2 files which I need to have it on my server. So let me just copy this thing and come to GitHub. Done. Clear? See, these 2 files got uploaded. Let me commit the changes. So see here, these file, now this file is on my GitHub server. And the best part is what? If you want, all you just need to do is what? See, you just need to go on Streamlit share. And this Streamlit share allow you to fetch your file from GitHub. So the file which was there on my local server, right now that file is on GitHub, and I'm telling Streamlit to fetch the file from GitHub so that it is available to the entire people in the world. See what I'm doing it. Delete. Okay, let me just write it over here. Control C, and I'll paste it over here. Let me create a new app, and then it asking me my GitHub repository. Okay, so what was my GitHub repository name? Git testing. Okay, what was the branch, in which particular branch it was? It is in my main branch. So yes, it is in my main branch. Name of that file was app.py, and there we go, deploy. It will start deploying it, guys. If any error is there, you need to fix it out, that error. You need to fetch that error. See, it'll start deploying it, but obviously it's gonna show you some error. See, so the problem which we were facing was, our files are locally. Can we put it on any server, and can we tell our Streamlit to fetch that file from that server? This is done. So here you can see it start doing the process in the back end. See, clear? For sure, it might throw you some error. Let's see what error it's throwing. Okay, it says still, please wait. Still, it is downloading something. Okay, there was some error. Okay, so I might have missed it something, but this is an actual approach. Clear? This is an actual approach of doing it. Fine, I have a lot of now. If you want to see what kind of work you can do it, you can do a lot of work over here, guys. You can create. So the best part is what, let's say if you're working on some machine learning model, you deploy that model, convert it into a website, hosted it on GitHub, create it into a website, put it on your LinkedIn profile, put it on Twitter. Let other user also see it, what you are doing it in publicly. So whenever you are giving any kind of an interview, recruiter can easily able to see it, what kind of work you have done it. He can go through that website, he can see your work, he can see your machine learning model. That will give you an upper edge as compared to the other candidate, those who are joining that particular interview. Clear, guys? Clear with this? Clear with this? Clear? Okay. So if this is clear, guys, last 2 or 3 minutes, I'll leave you for Q&A, that is question and answer. If you have any question and answer, feel free to ask me, or else we'll wind up the session. Thank you so much, Prakash sir. Anyone else? So, yes, yes, go ahead. Can you please unmute?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I was wondering what kind of database would be optimal to use with ML-based Android apps?
Okay. So you want, okay, database for Android app. I mean, there are many more things, but I always suggest MongoDB. For me, it's like MongoDB.
Sir,
MongoDB or Redis.
Sir, is there any reason that you chose MongoDB over like other structured databases?
Yes, I'll tell you why I choose that MongoDB or Redis, because the organization in which we are working right now, na? Okay. So the latency while reading that data, latency and all are very less in MongoDB as well as in Redis. And the caching is very good in MongoDB and Redis. There's a reason why forget about me. My organization is heavily using MongoDB and Redis. Clear? Clear?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Students, if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Anyone else? Okay, so I'll consider as the end of this part, guys. Thank you so much, guys, boys and girls. Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you
Sir,
so much
on
for your
behalf
time.
of JAIN deemed to be university, thank you so much for
Guys,
conducting this wonderful
what's
session.
your college name is? What's your college name?
Sir, it's JAIN, sir. JAIN deemed to be university.
Okay, Chain deemed to be university. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Shashank.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Thank you all for joining.